Hey, Sales Math, Mr. Garman here. Today, I'm going to have you guys watch this video and or read along with this article. This is an article you've already read earlier in the year. We're going to do some more work with budgeting. So before we do that, I wanted to just go over what budgeting is. I know a lot of you already know, but for everyone else, or if you already know, it's a good review. Let's get started. So this is in Bonsai. You do have an account. I'll put the join in if you forgot it. Log in with your Google password and stuff, like sign in with Google. All right, so in this article, we have a budget calculator, and then we also have a coach that can help us create a budget. We're gonna do that tomorrow using the budget calculator. Today, we're just gonna go over what the article says. So a budget, a practical, workable budget is one of the most crucial tools in your financial wellness arsenal. So hopefully so arsenal is your kind of weapons. So starting points, your budget is your blueprint, just like you're building something, for keeping cash flow positive. So the money coming in is more than the money going out, and for sticking to your savings goals. If you have a partner, so this is maybe when you're older, it's essential to have one overall household budget. That big picture is indispensable for having a good sense based on actual numbers of where the two of you, so if it's two people, stand financially and how you plan to stay on track throughout the year. So remember, a budget is there to help you and is not written in stone, so budgets can change, and they should. Whether or not you have a partner, start your budget by listing all your anticipated monthly expenses, so the things that cost money. These are usually needs, like rent, car, food. It can be helpful to divide them by how frequently they occur. So once a month, twice a month, once a week. So how often do you have to pay these expenses? So here's a budget calculator. Here we can see that we have our monthly expenses: rent, mortgage, food, entertainment. That would maybe be a want. And we can add other ones. So we'll be working with that tomorrow. So here we have monthly expenses, and the next part here we have yearly expenses. So what is each year? So we can also do weekly. So it's kind of a cool tool. And then we'll go over how it works. So fixed versus variable. So fixed means stays the same, like it's a fixed amount, it doesn't change. And variable, so when we talk about algebra, we'll talk about what a variable is. A variable is a number that can change. It can be more than one number depending on what you're spending. So for the fixed expenses such as rent or phone, it's easy to fill in the exact amount you'll have to spend. On the other hand, with variable expenses like groceries, there is no single amount you'll spend each month. But based on what you've spent in the past, you should be able to estimate or get an average, a fairly accurate number for most weeks. So we're going to learn about average as well when we're doing budgets. The next step is to compare your income to your expenses in order to achieve and maintain a positive cash flow. So again, that's income coming in, which probably means cutting back, so changing your budget, or cutting some of them out together. So you might have expenses that you don't need, like eating out, video, renting videos, buying too many video games maybe. You should revisit your budget on a regular basis. Remember, if it's there to help you and it's not written in stone. Adjusting it if your overall household income changes is important. So here we have kind of a list, a finished budget. We have weekly, monthly, quarterly, so it's every 4 months, and occasionally. So spread the wealth. If your budget changes because you get an influx of cash, like let's say an influx of cash would be money for a birthday or Christmas present or a bonus. If your budget changes because you get an influx of cash, maybe from a bonus or an inheritance, you may be tempted to use it to cover increased variable expenses, like eating out, travel, or the newest phone. Certainly using some of the money that way is fine, but it's also a great opportunity to pay down debt or to increase what you're putting away in savings, either in an emergency fund, a retirement plan, or your investment portfolio. All right, that's it, and we'll talk